After almost 2 years on either edit on release or double edit binds, I finally switched back to edit on release off with a single edit bind. The main motive behind the switch is edit control. Whilst it is more than possible to be a great fighter with edit on release on, I had the bad habit of relying too much on my mechanics alone. This really affected my fights, as the peaks that I took correlated with how much I was actively forcing myself to take good peaks. Meaning that if I was feeling a bit overconfident because my enemy looked lost or I was just feeling it, I would do the weirdest peaks and then obviously die and tilt because I knew I was better. Because I haven't played in a while and already started implementing some new changes, I decided to fully commit to a general switch up and give it a go. The transition wasn't easy at all though. The first day I was majorly frustrated that I wasn't as fast as I used to be. As you can see, I was struggling in the mechanic practice, and later during 1v1s, whilst I was winning, I wasn't hitting my edits like I expected to. I also was falling back into old trends and not exactly doing perfect peaks, which was the goal all along. And whilst the first day was mainly frustration, the second, third and fourth day were all about fear. I wasn't confident at all in myself anymore, and this led to me switching into a more aim-heavy and passive playstyle. And whilst this worked out sometimes, especially early game where I was confident in my aim and ability to read my enemies, there were also scenarios like these where I would absolutely dominate, but then realize I did a bad peak, panic and lose because of that. If I simply had stuck to aiming, I would have won it. This also led to me not playing arena for 2 days, as I was too scared to further worsen my mental, but guess what? Doing that worsened my mental, as I was basically ignoring all the good peaks I was taking and only focusing on the bad one. The problem was that I was expecting myself to adapt pretty quick, and when it didn't happen to the extent I expected, I started doubting myself. Especially as I started noticing that whilst I started to move more optimally, my timings were off. I still would open edits and shoot with the same timings as edit on release on, which further pushed my doubts if it wasn't better to simply switch back. Especially after I saw how aim heavy and passive I had become, basically not even trying to build at certain points, looking like a total bot. But I have been upping my mech grind in the last 2 days and looking decent and creative. While it's not easy, I am trying to focus on what I'm doing good rather than all the mistakes I'm making. Having that said, I will keep this setting for a month and then decide what to do with it. Finally, whilst it wasn't fun, it showed me how much my confidence was building on purely mechs. Overcoming this by not simply taking the easy way out and working on becoming a more well-rounded player will hopefully be beneficial for my overall growth, which is also why I suggest everyone to eventually try this setting out. Having that said though, I hope you enjoyed this video, and shout out to the 2.8% of you that is from Martinique. I hope I didn't butcher that, and to see you again very soon.